All right, Aries, thanks for stopping back and checking in with us here at PeonyLore, where we help you to find the beauty in all things. If you didn't get a chance to take a look at the intro and you just skipped straight to it, then you may want to go back and circle back to that. I know it was a little bit lengthy, about maybe 10 minutes or so into it, but I felt I put a lot of energy into what kind of needed to pop out for you guys. Is there anything else? So if you didn't watch the intro, then what you need to be able to understand is that we're using the Angel Tarot deck for this month, and we're going to focus each week at a time. So this first week that we're going to take a look at for you is going to be very interesting. And those cards, although this tarot deck is not typically meant to be read in reverse, they really wanted me to do that for this particular month, and then use the Psychic Tarot deck here to clarify any of these cards that are actually popping up in reverse. So from a collective perspective, we're going to go ahead and just start slowly here, and we're going to go into what it is that we're seeing this first week, and then we're going to pull out the Dragon Oracles at the end to see what the best advice is going to be. So the first card that we have here is the Guardian of Thought, okay? And so the Guardian of Thought is really the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is stating that you might be called upon to be a spokesperson for a cause that's really close to your heart. Now your angels are going to help step in and give you the perfect words for whatever it is that you need to do. This is definitely something that has to do with being a mentor, and even if it's just being a mentor for your own self. There's a professional air here, positive attitude, fresh ideas, and there might be a little bit of emotional unavailability in a sense, but the King of Swords is really here to, with his innate clarity, to really try to cut through the muck as best as possible with more ease and grace sometimes than the Queen of Swords gets credit for. So that's the first thing. Not specific for every single day of the week, just the general energies of what's going on here. I'm not going to reorder the cards, but we're going to go into the next few, which are in reverse. And you do actually have a couple of major arcana that are sitting here. So the first card that's sitting in reverse here is really the Nine of Swords, which is actually good because you're coming through to get some clarity. And the Nine of Thought is the Nine of Swords energy, where there's a little bit of analysis paralysis in a sense. You can't sleep. You're worried about the positive momentum. You've got a little bit of anxiety. You're trying to release things that don't necessarily belong to you. You could still very much be in this first week of February, very much releasing the energies from the full moon if you participated in that exercise, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, what we do get here is next to this release card, this Nine of Thoughts, is the Open Your Heart. So this is the equivalent of the Lover's card, sitting in reverse, okay? So you need to make some choices as it's regarding your heart. Joy is going to step forward for you in a vibrant and healthy way. It looks as though at this particular week, that's not necessarily happening for you. The card that sits next to it is the Successful Completion card. And the Successful Completion card is the World in reverse. So it may not necessarily be time for perhaps this love or this union that's supposed to be in your thought process or in your energy to be received in the best and highest light. But that doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity for it to move forward. So when we have the World, we're really talking about the thought process of restrictions and some responsibility sometimes associated with that, okay? So just be mindful that that's kind of what's there. The World will always have an opportunity to turn in your favor, but it's not necessarily in your favor at this point. I just realized I didn't put my timer over. Sorry about that. Rounding out what we have here in this particular week is the Helper of Thought. So the Helper of Thought is really the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is coming through. So if you're getting through this release situation, the Helper of Thought is here to really start helping you take hold of an event or a thought. It's really about reviewing the details as best you can. So really embracing this Mercury retrograde in a sense. There is an opportunity that you will be meeting someone who has a very quick confident and courageous thought process about a couple of different things. And so if it doesn't happen to be you changing this thought process, it's very likely that you will be meeting someone that is going to help you. So there's very necessary clearing that's happening for you, Aries, here in this first week. Now let's hit these cards that are sitting in reverse with the Psychic Tarot deck to see if there's anything specific or special that I can help to bring forth to you. All right, the first card that we have, we got the Patience and, or excuse me, the it's the Three of Wands energy. It's partnerships and alliances. So there's potentially something here that's happening that's not necessarily time for this partnership to take hold, all right? This Open Your Heart, this Lover's card that's in reverse. Let's take a look and see what the Psychic Tarot deck wants to lend to that. What do we have here for our Aries with this Lovers in reverse this first week of February, please? There it is. Interesting. This Nine of Thought is the same card as this Nine of Thought. So this one's called Suffering in Silence. And if it really is a love relationship or a business relationship, just know that it may not be time for what it is you want to have happen. Everything happens on universe's time, and I think everybody knows that. Yeah. Successful completion sitting here on top of it with another major arcana card of Judgment. Okay. So review and contemplation. You really need to be in a position to be thinking about how you can best utilize the energies of judgment for whatever this particular situation is, and not to judge yourself too harshly if you're not recognizing something that's coming through. So very easily, the beginning and the end of the week, I mean, you're going to have, you know, maybe a little bit of, you know, letting go of something that's not ready for you at this particular time. And you need to be ready to own that judgment of what's really happening here and be truthful with yourself about it, because you'll know. So let's go ahead and use our Oracle of the Dragons to see what they would like to be able to lend here for our Aries for that first week of February here in 2021. All right, so what we have here is the Golden Christed Dragon. So the Golden Christed Dragon is going to bring you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light, okay? So the Christ light, now we're not talking about Jesus Christ. We're talking about the Christ light. We're talking about the galactic center, right? We're talking about absorbing the Christ light because you're protected, you're expanding your heart, and you need to remain fifth dimensional. So don't get bogged down in this world card, not necessarily here for you. Don't necessarily stress yourself out about the fact that you are not being successful in your own thought processes is what I'm getting for some of you for this relationship that's happening or not happening the way that you want it. It's not about that level of individuality, relationship for someone as much as it is for you bringing in your own higher self and that higher love for yourself. So I want you to take a quick peek at that card. This would be the energy in some instances of calling down Archangel Metatron and utilizing those energies to help you be in that that Christ light, that dimensional light that's really going to be supportive. Okay, so that's the first week of February, Aries. We're going to move these cards up a little bit out of the way. And then we're going to go hit our second week. Thank you. All right, angels. So second week of February for our Aries here, right? So let's take a look at what's going on here. It's the first card. Well, then there it is. It turns itself around. That's the Three of Action. That's the Three of Wands. That's sitting right there, trying to wait for your ships to come in. Wasn't necessarily ready for that first week, but it looks like there's some momentum happening here on the second week. This is great. So things are going to work out, okay? Allow your ships to come in. Decide what your next project needs to be, okay? And they're telling you that you might necessarily need to take action on building your success or take the opportunity to move on to something entirely different, okay? And although it's Mercury retrograde, the thought process for you traveling is something that you really need to consider, all right? Not now, but that thought process is going to come up, all right? What else do we have for our Aries? Thank you. Ooh, okay, so we've got some progression that's happening here. We've got the 8 and 9 of Cups sitting next to each other. We've got the Ace of Action. We've got the Ace of Rods or the Wands sitting in the reverse position. So we will clarify that. Is there anything else for this particular week for Aries? No. Okay. They said that's enough energies right here. Okay. So again, wasn't time for this particular situation to come up, but you've gotten yourself out of that thought process about it. It looks as though you've carried that through. There's something that's coming through for you with clearing those old energies out about that situation. The Ace of Action sitting in reverse, really, this Ace of Wands, is that it's not, this isn't something that's new that's coming for you. This is continuation of something that you've already been working on, okay? The Nine of Emotion that's sitting here is the Nine of Cups energy. It is talking about new wishes being granted and coming through, and it is also really talking about just having a reward for really being a person that is persevering, is basically what they're trying to say. Good luck is really going to follow you, okay? Now, the Eight of Emotions is saying that you do have something that is longing. You're longing for something specific in your life at this particular moment. So there is the opportunity, we're going to talk, I talked about it here, momentum, moving, traveling. There is a potential very, very, very quickly that you could be putting that thought process into action here with this Eight of Emotion. Do what's right for you so that you can seek out your magical new life. It does say that it is possible that you could be moving for career purposes. Although this Three of Action that's sitting here does not indicate to me that it's going to be new with this Ace of Wands in reverse. It's something else that you've already been working on. So it's not something brand new. It's something that you already have in your wheelhouse. But it does look like there's momentum getting ready to happen. So let's go ahead and hit this Ace of Action. Well, so there you go. It's the Nine of Cups. It's the Nine of Cups. So that's very interesting. The energy really is, you definitely have to turn around your thought process about creating something new, if that is in fact something that you really want to do. If this Nine of Cups moment coming for you is related to something, this one brand new idea, this one brand new thought process, this one brand new thing, you will be happy and successful if you put a little thought energy into it. And eventually you're going to see that you can start laying out the path to make that happen for you. Okay. When the Eight of Cups comes up, it does mean that you feel as though you've done everything that you can do, and it is time now to start doing something different with that energy. You've graduated, in a sense. It's time for you to move on. You're done with the old thing. So for the second week, we're going to use the this is my Angel Oracle guide. This isn't the Angel Therapy guide that I pulled out before. This is a different Angel Guide deck. So let's see what they have to say for February 2nd, the second week of February, for our Aries. And what you're being told here is that you are definitely being guided. You have angelic protection to help you carry these thoughts through. So that's a beautiful energy. And the energy that I get out of this, just as I would here with this Guardian of Thought here, this Ace of Swords, is Archangel Michael energy, right? I love this. Energy of the blue ray here, Archangel Michael stepping forward to try to help you, but you do definitely have angelic protection, so it would be important for you to call in whoever it is that you can call in to help support you with those energies. If it's not the archangels that you're specifically calling in, call in your galactic team, okay? Call on your higher self to help support you with what you need for that particular second week, Aries, okay? So now let's go ahead and go into the third week. We'll grab our tarot deck here, the Angel Tarot deck here. Third week for our Aries, please. First card out is the Seven of Abundance. Okay, so that's the Seven of Coin in reverse. Next card out, please, for our Aries for the third week of February. There it is. The Spiritual Teacher that pops out. Ooh, Major Arcana. That's the Hermit card. Okay, and we're taking them both. Is there anything else? There's one more for the third week? Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, thank you. So we have the Seven of Abundance sitting in the reverse position. So the Seven of Abundance upright typically is someone that's taking the opportunity to go in and review. And now you've reviewed everything that you need to review, and you're ready to pluck one of those pentacles off of the fruit tree, in a sense, so that you can spend it on yourself, right? Invest in something that's meaningful to you. You've spent time thinking about what that's going to mean. The Hermit that's showing up here, the spiritual teacher, there's time that is necessary for you to spend by yourself. Okay, but you're also, from a spiritual perspective, being asked to make sure that you find a spiritual teacher, so that you can be more fulfilled with the task or the craft that you have to help you progress. The Messenger of Action is sitting here again in reverse. So the Messenger of Action is the Page of Wands sitting in reverse. So there isn't going to be any new found spark, in a sense. Sitting next to it, you have the Four of Cups in reverse, but it does look like you might be taking advantage of some information that's coming your way, an offer. Now we have the Four of Action, but there isn't necessarily a proposal coming with that this particular week, which is why you're being asked to go in. So if you're looking at trying to take a new job here in the second week and you're doing your research, and we talked about what that meant, there is the Sun conjunct with Aquarius, okay, within that second week. But you also have the new moon that's showing up on the 11th. So it is time for you to start getting busy on some of those thought processes that you have. Okay. Why are we not moving forward? Well, you go from the Seven of Abundance to the Eight of Swords action, which is you're still in the thought process. You're still overthinking, okay? In a sense, you have the capability of getting yourself out of the thought process of thinking that you're stuck in a situation. Another major arcana card that steps out on top of this major arcana card is the Hangman. In this card, it's titled Sacrifice, okay? But it is really a point of seeing clearly. So you're really, really, really being asked to go inwards and let things go a little bit and grab it from a different perspective. Grab it from someone else that can really support you at that particular moment, okay? The Messenger of Action in reverse. So there isn't necessarily a new piece of news that's coming your way. Why is that? Authority. Well, there you are, Aries. You're here. You need to let go. You need to let other people help you. You need to ask for help this third week. You don't want to, but you need to. Now, there is an offer that's here. This Four of Emotion, this Four of Cups that's here. It does look like you are taking a look at it. So let's see what else can pop up. This Four of Emotions, Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups in reverse, universe, for Aries this third week? Why is the Four of Cups in reverse? What is it that we're missing here? So much energy going on here. No, it can't possibly be all of them. There's no way, you guys. There it is. Well, okay. The Four of Wands, the Four of Cups is here. The Passion Ignited, the Ace of Wands is actually showing up here. So there has been an offer that has been made to you. There has been an offer that has been made to you. You're just not sure if it's the right option for you. Now, the Four of Wands that's sitting here, this Four of Action, it really is an opportunity to work towards setting yourself up in that happy spot, that happy place, that place of business, that place of home, in a way that's going to be supportive of everything. Okay, and you've got the Moon. Wow, you guys have a lot of activity going on here. You've got the Moon that's showing up in reverse. So what I'm getting out of this is that you're releasing yourself at this point. There's information that you found out about, is what I'm getting. You found out about a piece of information, and it's not necessarily perhaps something that you are really looking forward to getting into. So perhaps you are not really digging this particular offer that showed up. But the Moon in reverse actually does indicate that that information piece, you've gotten that piece of clarity that you needed, or that clarity is coming. Okay, so let's see what the Oracle of the Radiant Sun wants to be able to share with our Aries for this 3rd week. What's the best advice that we could give them for this 3rd week? There it is. Ooh, you got 2. Well, you got Mars in Aries, which is being a little bit impulsive, but then you also have the Sun. You have the Sun in Virgo. So this is about health. So you need to be considering your health aspect in this. That's their best advice to you when it comes to it. The impulsiveness one sticks out to me, though, because obviously it's your sign. And so we've got Mars in your sign. So retrograde is really kind of dinking with you here a little bit with all of the energies that are happening here. Okay. So what I'm getting out of this right now is that the energy of the conjunct with Aquarius, the Sun conjunct Aquarius, is bringing in this flippity-flop kind of a situation. But also, Aries is conjunct Chiron at this point. So that is a huge opportunity. Like I said, this 13th, 14th period, that's really kind of affecting you. They're just asking you to kind of go within and monitor your health, take care of your health. All right. So let's see what we have for this last week of February here for our Aries. Thank you. What we have is, what do we have here? We have the Guardian of Emotion. Yeah, a lot of emotions going on here. That's the King of Cups in reverse. That is just not necessarily being emotionally available with all of these heavy energies. So let's see what else we got here. It's last week. Mercury's going to start to go direct, right? We've got the full moon that's popping up here. Around this whole time frame here, you do have the opportunity to go in, like I said, with this new moon. Use that new moon in Aquarius energy to propel you forward. Reiterate what it is that you want so that it comes into fruition for you. Is there anything else for this last week of February for our Aries, please? 2 more. Okay. All right. There's 1. There we go. Now we got the 9 of Rods, or the 9 of Wands, however you learned the terminology. So you go from the 8 of Cups, which was down here in wanting to move forward. You know that you've done something all the way there. That's the one that wants to come through. Thank you. And you are now at a point with this 9 of Action that you've worked really, really hard, and you are constantly being protected. Okay, you have been there, you've done that, you're doing a lot of work this particular week. You are doing a lot of work. I can see that energy coming through here. Stick to it. Stick to it, because now the Helper of Action is here. Okay, now the Knight of Wands is actually here with that passion piece that you really, really need, that extra boost, that extra ump. So while you're in your little cocoon phase, like getting ready to emerge into this butterfly, by the end of the month, you really are going to be in a position. But you're not emotionally available to necessarily all the other individuals that would maybe need to be able to have you around. So you also need to make sure that you are not keeping yourself around people that you can feel are not just giving you the energy that you need to have, right? Keep yourself away from those people. It's okay to hold on to your emotional sanctity. So if something's not good for you, then don't do it, or don't be around people that are just, complete jackwagons at that time. The action that's getting ready to come to you is going to be very fast, however. It's going to be super swift. So you're doing all of this slow down momentum on purpose, following the retrograde pattern, and then you're going to shoot out of the gate. Okay? You're going to shoot right out of the gate. Love this. So now we're going to go in with the Sacred Geometry card to see what is going to be supportive for you for this 4th week of February, Aries. Okay? And then I'm told, there it is. Okay. Oh, you got 2. Well, we'll take them both. And then I'm told to offer the opportunities to see what crystals, if you want to take advantage of that, are going to support you with. But yeah, this is interesting. This is the energy of the sun in a sense. This is vitality. Okay, so this is where that health piece comes into play. Energize your whole entire being. And then the second card that pops out here is the hexahedron, which is laying out your foundation. So you're getting ready to start something new. You've already thought about it. Start thinking about how you want that to come through. So I'm going to hit this hexahedron, which is number 16. And the crystals that they're supporting you with as far as grounding and laying out your foundations are going to be red jasper, cube platonic solid, if you have one, which is exactly what this is, dravitite, hematite, black tourmaline, okay? The other potential for you is to take advantage of the energy of what we have here with our common card of vitality. Let's see what this one has to say. I bet you it's going to be in the same. Well, okay. So now, to enliven, so you've got your grounding options, but also to beef you up. You've got garnet, you've got ruby, you've got Shiva lingam, and you've got cuprite and pyrite. Those are also, those last two are very grounding stones, but the garnet and the ruby is talking about also being able to bring you in a little bit from a complete alignment. If you have a Shiva lingam, man, you guys should get those. Those little things pack a lot of punch, but also so does ruby and garnet. So it really does help to bring you in alignment from head to toe in a sense. Okay, so Aries, we just sat there and talked about a whole lot of stuff, okay? The 13th, the 14th, the 15th, that whole week right there, that whole week, that midweek, okay, as we blow by Valentine's Day and all that stuff, that is going to be an extremely critical week of things that are getting ready to turn, okay? And so really just take time. The universe is just giving you a heads up. This may not be the time. You've got some clarity coming to you. It's not necessarily the time this first week. That second week and third week, there's going to be some offers that are going to come that you're going to have to manage and go through within your energies here. Your passion back and forth, your thought processes back and forth. At the end of the day, you don't really need to worry about it. You're going to get what you need and you're going to shoot. I mean, you're just going to go super fast as soon as this happens. So the longer period that you stay in this hermit mode, this Virgo energy that's sitting here is going to be the best for you, really. So just enjoy your time. Enjoy taking your time, because when you get to the end, you're going to go super, 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 super fast. Okay, so Aries, that is what I have for you here for the month of February 2021. Again, make sure that if this one doesn't resonate 100% with you, you take a look at your moon and your rising sign to make sure that you get a full picture. If you are looking and seeking some personal support within this particular period, I do encourage you to hit that link below where it has my personal contact information for a personal reading. Otherwise, thank you very much, and we will talk to you next time. Bye for now.